Hello, myself Varsha Burman, and now let's go with that topic known as VSEPR theory, known as valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So, in this theory, we are going to read about all about repulsion. So, let's proceed. So, VSEPR theory. So, the VSEPR theory is used to predict the shape of molecules from the electron pair that surrounds the central atom of the molecules. The theory was first presented by Sidgwick and Powell in 1940. The VSEPR theory is based on the assumption that the molecules will take the shape such as electronic repulsion in the valence shell of the atom is minimized. So VSEPR theory is all about repulsion, that is about lone pair repulsion, bond pair repulsion, or lone pair bond pair repulsion. So on the basis of repulsion, the geometry, the shape of the molecules will get distorted. So let's see how that the shape of that molecules will get distorted. So the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, abbreviated as VSEPR theory, is based on the premise that there is a repulsion between the pair of valence electrons, as I already told that, in all atoms. And the atoms will always tend to arrange themselves in a manner in which this electron pair repulsion is minimized. Okay, this arrangement of the atom determines the geometry of the resulting molecules. Means on the basis of that valence electrons, the atoms they get arranged themselves in the manner that a minimum repulsion occur between them. So on the basis of repulsion, their geometry is called changed, and that will be the final geometry of the resulting molecule. So that next point is the different geometries of that molecules can assume in accordance with the VSEPR theory can be seen in illustrated provided below in a table that we are seeing here. Not on the basis of the lone pair and bond pair, the geometry of the molecules can be determined. So on the first table, we in the table on the first group we have number of electrons, dense areas. On the second, electron pair geometry. Third, molecular geometry on the basis of lone pairs, no lone pairs, one lone pair, two lone pairs, three lone pairs, or four lone pairs. So if the molecule have two bond pair, means it doesn't have any lone pair, only two bond pairs. At that time the geometry of the molecules will be linear, as the shown in the first point. And in the second, the molecules have three bond pairs and no lone pairs. At that time the molecules have trigonal planar geometry, like in the second one. And in the third one, the molecules have four bond pair. At that time the molecule will acquire a tetrahedral geometry. In the fifth point, in the fifth one, the molecules having five bond pairs. At that time, the molecule arrange themselves in that manner that it will going to acquire a trigonal bipyramidal geometry. And in the last case, in which the molecules having six bond pair, in that case, the molecules will acquire octahedral geometry. So in linear molecule, first one, the molecules acquire linear geometry with a bond angle of 180 degree, and in trigonal planar geometry, the molecule will have 120 bond angle of 120 degree. Or in some cases, in the third one, in trigonal planar geometry, if it will have one lone pair, in that case, the molecule will acquire a band shape. And in the fourth one, molecules have tetrahedral geometry without any lone pairs. But if have any one lone pair, in that case, it acquire trigonal pyramidal geometry. And if it will have two lone pairs, in that case, it will acquire band shape. In the fifth case, in which the molecules having five bond pairs, the molecules acquire trigonal bipyramidal geometry without any lone pair. But if it has one lone pair, in that case, it acquires Sawhorse geometry. If it has two lone pairs, in that case, it will acquire T-shaped geometry. Or if it has three lone pairs, in that case, it will acquire linear geometry. And in the last one, as I have already told, if there is six bond pairs around a central metal atom, in that case the molecule require octahedral geometry without any lone pair. But if it has one lone pair, in that case it requires square pyramidal geometry. If it has two lone pairs, in that case it will require square planar geometry. If it has three lone pairs, in that case it will require T-shaped geometry. And If it has four lone pairs, it will acquire linear geometry. So on the basis of lone pair, which already VSEPR is telling that in the basis of lone pair, the geometry of the molecule get distorted, and on the basis of that distortion, it will acquire a resulting shape. So VSEPR theory is all about valence shell electron pair repulsion theory based on the basis of valence lone pair repulsion, lone pair bond pair repulsion, and bond pair repulsion. So the maximum repulsion occurs between lone pair, and then lone pair, bond pair, and then at the last bond pair and bond pair. So the two primary founders of VSEPR theory are Ronald Needham and Ronald Gillespie. This theory is also known as Gillespie-Needham theory to honor this chemist, as we already know that. According to the VSEPR theory, the repulsion between two electrons is caused by the Pauli's exclusion principle. So, what is Pauli's exclusion principle? According to the Pauli's exclusion principle, no two electrons can have the same value for all the four quantum numbers. So, according to the VSEPR theory, the repulsion between the two electrons is caused by the Pauli's exclusion principle that has greater importance than electrostatic repulsion in the determination of the molecular geometry. Now, the postulate of VSEPR theory, on the basis, the criteria of VSEPR theory. So, the main postulate are, so the first one, in polyatomic molecules, that is the molecules which are made up of more than two atoms, one of the constituent atoms is identified as a central atom. So in the polyatomic molecules, one is the central atom and other one is the surrounding atom. So to which all other atoms belonging to the molecules are linked. Second one, the atom number or the total number of valence shell electrons that decide the shape of the molecules. As I have already told that the total number of valence electrons actually determines the geometry, the shape of the molecules. Third one, the electron pairs have the tendency to orient themselves in a way that minimizes the electron-electron repulsion between them and maximizes the distance between them. Next, the valence shell can thought as a sphere wherein the electron pair are localized on the surface in such a way that the distance between them is maximized, and at the same time the repulsion is maximized. At the same time, the attraction between the bond pair is uh, maximized, and hence the bond angle decreases. And the next point, the central atom of the molecule should be surrounded by the bond pairs of the electrons. Then the asymmetrically shaped molecules can be expected. So on the basis of bond pair, the shape of the molecules we can expect. Next point, the central atom should be surrounded by both the lone pairs and bond pairs of the electrons. Molecules would tend to have distorted shape. Yes. And then the VSEPR theory can be applied to each resonating structure of the molecules. Next, the strength of the repulsion is strongest in two lone pairs and weakest in two bond pairs. If electron pairs around the central atom are closer to each other, if electron pairs around the central atom is closer to each other, they repel each other. As we already studied that electron repel each other and electron nucleus attract each other. So like that, if electron pairs around the central atom are closer to each other, they will repel each other. This results in the increase in the energy of the molecules. So if the electron pairs lie far from each other, the repulsion between them will be less, and eventually the energy of the molecules will be low. So on the basis of repulsion, we can determine the energy of the molecules also. So if the electron pairs lie far away from each other, the repulsion between them will be less, and eventually the energy of the molecules will be low. Okay, repulsion less, and hence the energy of the molecule will be less. Now the limitation of the VSEPR theory. So this theory fails to explain the isoelectronic species, the elements which have same number of electrons. Isoelectronic species means the elements having same number of electrons are known as isoelectronic species. So VSEPR theory doesn't explain the shape of this type of molecules which are isoelectronic to each other, and the species may vary in shape despite of their known. This theory fails to explain the isoelectronic species because these, in spite of having same number of electrons, but apart from that, they may vary in the shape. They may vary in the shape despite of having same number of electrons. And next, the VSEPR theory does not shed any light on the compounds of transition metals. About transition metal, it doesn't show any light on the transition metal shapes. Another limitation of VSEPR theory is that it predicts the halide group of two elements will have linear structure, whereas their actual structure is band-find. So, according to VSEPR theory, group two elements means beryllium, magnesium, calcium, or beryllium chloride, magnesium chloride, or etc. Their actual structure will be linear. Their structure will be linear according to VSEPR theory, but whereas their actual structure is band-one. So, VSEPR theory doesn't shed any light on this type of theory. So this is another limitation of VSEPR theory. Now predicting the shape of the molecules on the basis of VSEPR theory. The least electronegative atom. According to VSEPR theory, the element which are least electronegative will be selected as central atom, which have the ability to share its electrons with other atoms belonging to the molecule. The total number of electrons belonging to the outermost shell of the central atom must be counted. The total number of electrons belonging to the other atoms and used in the bonds with the central atom must be counted. These two values must be added in order to obtain the valence shell electron pair repulsion, valence shell electron pair number. Okay, that means our the electron of central metal atom must be counted and the electron of side atom also be counted, and all the electrons must be added at the last, and as a result we can get the total number of valence electron by counting all the valence electrons of central atom and side atom. Okay, now if the molecule, according to VSEPR theory, if the molecule acquire linear shape, so in this type of molecule we find two places in the valence shell, as I already told. Cell of the central atom, they should be arranged in such a manner that the repulsion can be minimized and pointing out in the opposite direction, for example BeF2 and etc. And the molecules acquiring trigonal planar shape of the molecules. In this type of molecules we have three molecules attached to the central atom. They are arranged in such a manner that the repulsion between the electrons can be minimized, and they directed at the corners of equilateral triangle. Examples ABF3. You are all very intelligent, you doesn't need to explain all this type of example. So tetrahedral shape of the molecules in this example, in two-dimensional molecules, atoms lie in the same plane, and if we place this in this condition on methane, we will get a square planar geometry in two-dimensional condition, in which the bond angle of SCS is 90 degree. But in three-dimensional condition, now if we consider all these condition for three-dimensional molecule, we will get a tetrahedral molecule in which the bond angle SCS is 109 degree 28 minutes towards the corners of equilateral triangle, and for example that is CH4 methane. Trigonal bipyramidal shape of the molecule, and the central metal ion is surrounded by a 5 valence electron, for example PF5. As we all know that PF5 PCl5 has trigonal bipyramidal geometry and it has no valence shell electrons, so the resulting large geometry of the molecule is trigonal bipyramidal. So here repulsion can be minimized by the even distribution of electron towards the corners of the trigonal pyramidal. In trigonal bipyramid, this position lie along the equator of the molecule. The two positions lie along an axis perpendicular to the equatorial plane. So this is all about VSEPR theory. Now, how this VSEPR theory will predict the shape of the molecules? Let go through it. The strength of the repulsion between the lone pair and the bond pair of the electron lies in between the repulsion between two lone pairs and between bond pairs. As we already know, the order of the repulsion between electron pair is as follows. As we know that lone pair repulsion is maximum, then lone pair maximum is repulsion, then bond pair is repulsion is maximum. So this is the order. So total number of electron pairs around the central atom. So how can we calculate the total number of electron pair around the central atom? For this, half is half number of valence electron of central atom plus number of atoms linked to the central atom by single bonds. Number of valence electron of the center atom plus number of side atoms, number of atoms linked to the central atom by this single bond. So by calculating this, we can get the total number of electron pairs around the central atom on the basis of total number of valence electron of side atom and total number of atoms linked to the central atom. In that case, we can get the total number of electron pairs around the central atom. Second, for negative ions, add the number of electrons equal to the unit of negative charge on the ions to the valence share of the electrons. First, we see the central metal atom, and then we will know the valence electrons of the central metal atom. Then, if there is 3 minus charge and if there is a valence shell of electron is 2, so if 2 minus negative charge is there and if 2 valence shell electron is there, we have to add both the electrons, that is 2 plus 2, that is total number of electrons will be 4. So for negative ions we must have to add the total number of negative charge, and in the case of positive ion we must subtract the total number of positive charge with the resulting valence electrons. So positive ion subtract the number of electrons equal to the unit of positive charge on the ion from the valence electron of the central atom, as I already told. Next, the number of bond pairs. How can we calculate the number of bond pairs? The total number of atoms linked to the central atom by the single bond. It's easy actually. Number of lone pairs. How to calculate number of lone pairs? Total number of electron minus number of shared pair. The electron pairs around the central atom repel each other and move so far apart from each other that there are no greater repulsion between them. So this results in a molecule having minimum energy and maximum stability. So this is all about the VSEPI theory, that is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So hope you will all understand. So thank you.